making sales is not just about closing a new client. There is an entire spectrum of things that have to go into having not just a six-figure business, but a multiple six-figure business. And sales is the lifeblood of any business. But in order to make those sales, there are other components that you have to have handled. And so this group and this Ask Me Anything class isn't just about how to show up on social media, how to find a new client. You can ask those questions related to systems, structure, messaging, social media, cash flow, where to invest, how to invest, what to prioritize. Because one of the biggest problems for coaches and consultants, whether you're at 0K months or 100K months, is knowing what to focus your vision and your daily tasks, where to put your focus every single day to get to your next level, whether that's 20K months or 200K months. I see it happen all the time. So one of the things that we are going to talk about today is where to put your focus in your business to get to your next level, whether that's the first 10K month or whether you're kind of, ready and pushing to 50K months or 100K months, because I've got people on the whole spectrum inside of my inner circle. So I can see there's a few of you here. Give me a hello. Let me know I'm here in the comments below. Hit like, because I would love to know that it's you I'm speaking with, because I'm going to make sure that these examples are shaped around you and your business so that you get the most out of today. So I would, of course, love to know who's here with me. And it's going to be an amazing class. So a couple of questions that have come through specifically. And of course, if you've got questions, hey, Adil, if you've got questions you want to ask while you're here, jump in the comments, let me know, I'll get to them. But we've got a question around my visibility and people wondering if they have to be as visible as me to build their business and have consistency. So I think that's a really great question we're going to cover today. Because you probably look at me, if you're like some of the other people that are in my community or that I get to speak with, they say, Shani, you're like an octopus, you're everywhere. It's like the Shani show in my news feed. And you don't have to be as visible as me to have a consistent business. I'm going to take you through what to do today. And then the other question that's come in is around lead gen. And again, the common theme here today is consistency. Because you might feel confident in your offer and you might feel confident in your ability to be on the Zoom calls with people. But if you're still having feast or famine months, if you're kind of like there's a 20K month, there's a 5K month, then there's something not going right in your business that needs to be fixed. So we're going to talk about those things today. But let's get into it. Okay, you are on a mission. Right? You have decided to build a business for both you and also humanity. Both you and humanity are required in order for you to have a business. If you are just focused on building a business because you want money, that's never going to be a good enough reason. I can tell you right now, if it's just the money that you're focused on, you may as well hang up your boots and you may as well stay in a 9-to-5, because if it's just the money that you're after, it's not going to work because you're not inspired. And you'll see up and down moments inside of your emotions and therefore inside of your revenue and inside of your business. Because if it's just the money, then it's not a good enough reason to get you out of bed and actually connect with humanity to serve them. You need humanity because they're the ones that are going to engage with your service or your product. So if it's just about you, then you're probably in the wrong business. You probably need to get clear on what your purpose is. Now, there is an incredible storyteller who you may be familiar with, and his name is Walt Disney. And Walt Disney had a vision when he started out, and his vision was that he wanted to bring families together. What Walt Disney didn't realize was that in having a mission of bringing families together, he was actually going to also separate families. And what I mean by that is that Walt Disney was there to share stories. He had this vision of people sitting around and listening to his stories, families sitting around and listening to his stories. And he achieved that. Would you agree that Walt Disney is probably, the most famous storyteller in many ways? Everybody knows Walt Disney. You probably have fond memories as a child of watching a Disney movie. So Walt Disney achieved his original mission, or his purpose, which was to bring families together. But he didn't expect he was also going to separate families. And I'll tell you how he separated families. Hey, Helen. Girls now grow up, and have done for many, many years, watching Disney movies and have injected a fantasy into their minds around how love should look. All based on these fairy tales that we watch as children from Walt Disney. And those fairy tales, those unrealistic expectations that girls now grow up with because they're watching Disney movies, they take that into their adult life, and they struggle to build a relationship and create a family because they're comparing it to a Disney movie. And that was not what Walt Disney had in his mind when he set out to create stories to bring families together. But it's a byproduct of what has happened in creating stories and a fantasy for people. So I share this with you because here's the relevance for you. You have a mission. You know the gift that you want to give to yourself and to others through the vehicle of your business. You are very likely labeling that mission as only good, only going to help people. But the truth is that it equally comes with drawbacks as well as the benefits. And it's really important for you when it comes to finding consistency in your revenue that you understand this concept. That you are on a mission to give a gift, but that gift comes with difficulties and challenges for the people that you impart that gift on. And if you are in a polarized state where you think that the only thing that you do is give a gift of goodness, you are going to see up, down, up, down, up, down in your emotions and therefore your business. Because your revenue is simply a reflection of your inner world and what's going on for you, as well as strategy, right? If you don't have strategy, you're screwed. Simple. Say it how it is. Helen, I'm no nonsense. So I share that with you because it's really wise for you to have a look at how does what I do also do a disservice to the people that I get to work with so that you can get balanced. Because what I'm seeing for a lot of coaches is you're on a mission, you want to help, you've got this fantasy that what you do somehow only gives people good stuff, and then you go and work with clients and the inevitable happens, which it isn't all sunshine and roses. Some of them fail in your perception, some of them challenge you in your perception, and then you take the burden on as though it's somehow got to do with you and that you're a failure because they didn't get a particular result, because you injected a fantasy onto you and them. Just like Walt Disney injected fantasies into millions and millions of girls all around the world who now go out and project that fantasy onto men and women when they're trying to have an intimate relationship. See, in business and in life, you are simply a vehicle for transformation. And you don't get to choose what others make of you for their own becoming. Which means that when your clients get wins, it's neither a cause or effect because of you. You're just the vehicle for that transformation. When clients have challenges and failures in theirs or your perception, you are neither the cause or the effect of that. You are simply a vehicle for the transformation. When you really get this concept, you end up freeing yourself from taking shame or blame, all for success. And that allows you to show up in loving non-attachment inside of your business, which means you're energized because you're just a human on a mission. You're just being the vehicle for all of the things that happen, not just the good. And when you're energized, instead of being hungry for the next dopamine hit of success, true mastery has become. Now, this is relevant because a question has come in this week around my degree of visibility. Some people have been holding back on working with me because they think that they have to be as visible as I am. It's not the case. So the question that came in was, Shani, you are super visible. Do I have to be as heavy in content as you to have consistent clients? And the short answer is no. But obviously, whatever you're doing right now is not bringing you consistent clients. So we have to unpack what's going on there, because no, it's not just about showing up and being visible. If you're just showing up and being visible and you don't understand what your message is, how to connect, you've become part of the noise. There are 60 billion messages sent out every single day across digital platforms. As soon as you and your target audience, the people you want to serve, pick up this baby, there is an array of notifications on there. From social media, missed calls, text messages, banking apps, emails, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it, it's there. So just because you put something on social media or send an email doesn't mean that the person that you are looking to be visible to even sees it. And this is where most of you are falling down on social media. You keep sharing stuff for the sake of sharing it. And you keep sharing stuff about what you want to share instead of about what your audience wants to hear. And then it falls on deaf ears. And you become part of the 60 billion messages that nobody cared about. And it's not your fault, by the way. Here's what's happened. You've been told, you've been completely fed a lie. And it's not that people have fed that lie because they have bad intentions. I truly believe most coaches have good intentions. Unfortunately, most coaches and the ones that you've come across so far have regurgitated a whole bunch of crap that doesn't even work for them. This is why you're getting done over. This is why you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on programs and getting nowhere, because these coaches are in scarcity mode and they don't know what else to do. So they're following the rest of the crowd. But the rest of the crowd, it's not working either. Guys, please listen carefully. There are an estimated 5,842,000 coaches in the world right now. Majority of them are on social media. This is your competition. But majority of them also don't have an even close to being consistent or thriving business. Most of those 5 million plus coaches are not even anywhere near a 10K month. Most of them are not. And you're looking at what everyone else is doing on social media and trying to mirror that. It's not working for them. You and them have been told to show up on social media daily, share content multiple times a day, talk about your hard knock story of what you've achieved, add 100 new friends a week with no clarity on if these people even want what you've got. It's just get in there and do a number, tick, tick, tick. You've been told to send cold DMs to those new 100 friends a week. You've been told to post pictures of your food, your cat, your dog, kids, inspirational quotes, make direct offers, go live 100 times a week, run free challenges, give away freebies. And it's not working. So you keep doing more and more and more. And all you're doing, in addition to exhausting yourself, is adding to the noise. And then you get to the end of the week and you're disheartened and you don't know why it's not working, because it looks like it's working for everyone else, but it's not. Those 5 million plus coaches who are all sharing their rubbish on social media are feeling the same way as you. Disheartened, alone, and like nobody cares what they've got to say. So then Monday comes around again and you do the same thing. This time with a little less soul left within you, a little less energy, a little less light behind your eyes. And it's not your fault, because this is what we've been told to do. But if it's not working, it's time to make a change. Now, those things that you get told in every coaching program you've done that's been regurgitated, like the things I've just listed, it's not that those things are the problem, by the way. They're not the problem. That is a strategy. But here's what you and everyone else doesn't know yet. It's not the what, it's the how. You have to show up. You have to share content, whether it's 5 times a week or 2 times a week. That's up to you. You do have to find new people to serve consistently. But if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, what's going to separate you from that in the 60 billion messages that get sent out every single day? How are you going to stand out? It is your ability to connect in doing those things. And no, you don't know how to connect, because if you did, you wouldn't be in feast or famine. And by the way, the 100K coaches that might be watching this, and there's some in my community, if you're a 100K coach, like if you're doing 100K months, but it's one-offs, then you still have a problem. Whether you're doing 50K months, but then every other month it's 5K, you still have a problem. And that problem is not the showing up and doing what every other coach is doing, because that is what you have to do. You do have to show up on social media. You do have to share content. You do have to create conversations. You do have to add new friends. But when you're doing that, that is the problem, is the how. You're sending messages to people, trying to create conversations about what you want to know and what you want to talk about. That is not connecting, that is disconnecting. You're creating content based on what you want to speak about, not what your audience wants to hear about. That is not connecting, that is disconnecting. It's I-centric. So now you and the 5 million plus other coaches are just adding to the noise on social media. Seriously, tell me, how many times do you stop in your newsfeed in a day and stop on someone's content and actually consume the entire piece of content? Every time you open up your feed and scroll, how often are you stopping? My guess is it's less than 5 times a day. So the same thing is happening for the people you're trying to connect with. How are you going to stop them in their scroll? How are you going to create conversations where you're not spammy, where you're not salesy, but where you're warmed and welcomed by the person you're in a conversation with? You have to know how to master the art of connection. What you're doing in these DMs and your content is not working. And that is the lifeblood of bringing in new clients. And this is why the 5 million plus coaches on social media are pretending, but secretly stressed out because they don't know how to get consistency. And it's because you don't know how to connect. And it's not your fault, and you weren't taught how to do this, by the way. From the minute you're born, you are taught that the world revolves around you. You don't know any differently. So now your brain is constantly having a conversation every minute of the day about, how does this impact me? How do I feel about this thing? What do I think? You're interpreting the world through the lens of you, and so is every other human, including me. But it's no wonder that we are at war with ourselves and one another, because this is your eye-centricity. You've got to take yourself out of the equation in order to connect and have clients. So showing up on social media and sharing content about you and about your thoughts and about your feelings and about what you know, it doesn't cut it anymore. You have to know how to make it about them. Sending DMs, some crappy script, it doesn't work. You wouldn't like to get it. So why on earth do you think that the people you're trying to connect with would? It makes you feel like a number. Even though you've got the best of intentions, this is not how it's being received. You've got to know how to connect. When you sit down to create a piece of content, make it about your audience, not about you. Get the eyes off of your page. Get rid of your I help statement and stop asking questions about what you want to know. Or you can keep doing what you're doing, and you can keep having feast or famine months, and then you can keep beating yourself up and your gift will go unheard. And you deserve better. So I know that this has ended up in a little bit of a lecture style, right? And I really appreciate you being here. This is clearly something that I'm very inspired about. And you have a gift. Every human being on this planet has a gift to give. But most people die with regrets and emptiness because they didn't get to share it. And the reason you don't get to share it is because you're eye-centric and you make the world about you. And so is everyone else. So it's your ability to be able to bring yourself to the world, but in a way that is about others, that is going to determine how much you get to share your gift and the impact you end up having, in addition to then your bank balance. I implore you to come and join us in Business Builder if you are not already in there. It is the first step to you learning some very simplistic ways to show up, but that actually get you seen. And I know Helen's here with us. She can speak to that. Very simplistic methods. You need to learn these. Otherwise, you're going to keep drowning out. So you don't have to be as visible as me. You don't have to share content as much as me. But what you do need to know is how to connect with people when you do show up. And that is exactly what we do in Business Builder in real time. And it equates to about $4 a session. That $4 a session turns into high ticket clients. But you've got to be in it for the long game, because what you've done so far hasn't worked for you. And your business and your mission and your gift is a long game. You can't put a Band-Aid on a freaking an axe wound, right? And right now you've been trying to put a Band-Aid on an axe wound and you're bleeding out. So let's stitch you up and let's get you on track so that you stop drowning out. It starts with Business Builder and we expand from there. So team, I know that this has been a heavy-hearted session, but I think it's an important one, because if you want to build a consistent business, then this is definitely where you've got to start. So I hope this has been of benefit to you. I hope you've gotten value. Helen, you need the stitches. You're inspired. Helen, you've got an incredible personality and you are just an absolute joy. And I'm so inspired to be with you on this journey to help you bring that forward in a way that social media can actually see, because we need more Helens in the world. Thanks, Helen. I appreciate you saying straight from the heart. All right, guys, the link is in the comments. If you're not in Business Builder, come, jump in. Let's get you visible in a way that's congruent and authentic for you. Have an incredible rest of your week, wherever you are in the world. And I can't wait to see you in the next session. Bye, team.